This is Couples Court with the Cutlers.
This is the case of Banks versus Johnson. You're living together and are brand new parents. And the joy of parenting has been tarnished by cheating allegations. Mr. Banks, tell me why you are here.
Well, Your Honor, I'm here today because I've been with my girlfriend, Alyssa, a little over a year now, and we have a 2-week-old baby together. And I'm just worried about her sleeping around with other guys and her baby daddy. And I'm out here working 2 jobs to provide for my baby, and I'm just not sure the baby's mine anymore.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot.
You got a lot going on.
So, Miss Johnson, you're a new mommy. Tell me, I mean, it's enough to be trying to get a baby right, get them on a feeding schedule, sleeping schedule. What are you here for? What are you here to do?
Well, I'm here to prove to Derek that I am not cheating. I have not been sleeping around since we got together. Yes, I do co-parent with my first son's father. Yes, we have exchanged sexual text messages in the past, but nothing is going on between us. The allegations are so far out of hand that Derek does not claim my child. I just want to prove that I'm not doing anything, that I'm innocent, and we can decide what we're going to do with our relationship from there.
Okay, wait a minute. But did you say to me that you exchanged sexual type text messages with your ex?
Yes, I have in the past.
Uh-huh. Do you think that didn't an issue?
I mean, it's an issue because it occurred, but it was some tit for tat more than anything.
So you did this to hurt him?
Yes.
Yeah, it's never a good choice. Because I'm sure the fact that you saw those messages makes you think she's cheating with him, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And it just fuels your flame that something's going on.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so tell me some of the things that you've seen that make you think that Miss Johnson's cheating.
Yes, ma'am. Her baby daddy, there was a time we got into an argument, and she told me she needed time apart, and she told me during this time apart that she was gonna be with a friend in a hotel, and they were just gonna be chilling, and she even FaceTimed me naked in the bed or whatever, so I'm thinking everything was okay. And
what kind of friend?
A female friend. She said she's gonna be with a female friend in a hotel.
Wait, let me slow you down just for a second, because I'm processing this. It was okay for her to be naked in the bed with a female friend?
And you were okay with that?
Well, you know, females, I figure, you know, females feel comfortable sometimes taking their clothes off in front of each other, so I didn't really think much of it.
Okay, all right, if you good, I'm better. All right, the next day you said she called you.
Yeah, she called me and asked me to pick her up from a store with the car seat and the baby, and she was in pajamas, and I'm just wondering why you with your friend, why would your friend drop you off at a store with your baby and a car seat that's, by the way, only 5 to 10 minutes away from the house, but howsoever she's stranded, I go and pick her up.
Wait. What did she say when you picked her up?
She told me her friend dropped her off at the store.
In her pajamas?
In her pajamas, and had the baby with the car seat and all.
All right, and so then what happened?
I pick her up from the store, we head on to the house, but as we get to the house, and we're pulling in the driveway and everything, we get in the house, I see messages come through her phone from her baby daddy saying how she left things in his trunk, when are you available to come back and get them?
Okay, all right. So now you see all this, you started to put 2 and 2 together.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what did you say to Miss Johnson after you saw those texts?
I confronted her and I said, it's obviously you haven't been with your friends, so why don't you go ahead and tell me where you really was and what really happened. Hold
on, what'd you say?
I told him that I was at my baby dad's house.
Uh-huh. Why'd you lie to him?
Because we were already going through something. What in the first hand made me even call my baby's father is I found out that he was talking to his ex about stuff that I disclaimed to him about what me and my baby's father was going through.
But what's his name,
your baby's father?
His name is Sakim.
All right. And what were you talking to him about?
So I told Derek, I was telling him just things that me and Sakim had been through, and I come to find out that Derek was disclaiming these things with his ex-girlfriend. She calls me saying that she just wants to talk to me, get to know me. So within this, she actually goes and she's telling me all the things about my life that I didn't told Derek. So I call my baby dad and go to his house to just vent.
But if y'all was just venting why when you were at your baby dad's house, you also admitted to me that you so-called took a bath and he came and got in the bath, y'all was in the bath together, but the baby was in the tub and nothing happened.
Okay, wait a minute, hold up. Before
Yeah,
we get to that,
definitely.
you're saying that your response to Mr. Banks telling his ex about your relationship with Mr. Sakim.
It wasn't necessarily the relationship. It was just things that we're going through on a personal level, court-wise. He was disclaiming all of those things with her.
And that hurt you?
Yes.
It hurt you deeply?
Where does the naked FaceTime come in?
Well, I was in Sakim's guest room, actually, and me and my son were in the bed going to sleep. I always sleep naked. This is something Derek knows. I sleep with no shirt or nothing on. So it's something that he's known, and we were in the bed going to sleep at the time. So that's why I was naked in the video chat.
But you were in a separate room?
Yes, I was upstairs in the guest room.
Away from Mr. Sakim?
Yes, and his room is downstairs.
And you're saying nothing happened while you were there?
No, nothing occurred. When I go to Sakim's house, because I love his bathtub, I always take a bath there. So me and the baby were in the tub. And while we're in the tub, he comes and asks, can he join to get in the tub? Me thinking nothing of it because it's nothing sexual for me. We've done it plenty of times before taking the bath together. I would allow him to get in the tub with me.
You said you've taken many baths with him before?
Yes, like it's just something we do as a bonding thing. We all, plenty of times before, me, my son, and Sakim have
all
bath
three of
together.
you?
Yes.
All three of you. Okay, but you're in a relationship with Mr. Banks. Why are you bonding, getting in a tub, or allowing somebody to get in the tub with you?
I mean, I was just hurt at the situation of what occurred for me to even be there, so I wanted him to hurt as well.
Is that tit for tat thing you were talking about?
I feel compelled to ask you this. Do you have feelings for Mr. Sakim? You're bonding with him. Do you want to be with him?
It's not necessarily that I want to be with him. It's just that I feel more comfortable speaking to him about certain things.
You have to recognize an intimacy there if you're bathing with him. Are you sure you don't want to be with him?
Yes.
Mr. Banks?
Yes, sir.
Clearly this is upsetting you, we all can imagine. What's going through your mind right now?
Well, I just really want to know if she want to be with her baby daddy. It seems like that's what she wants, because I'm here trying to be a man to her and work, and I love her, and I'm trying to provide and be with her, but I just want to.
Well, you know what, Mr. Banks, we do too. There's your story, there's her story, and there's the ex-boyfriend story. He is here. Please bring him out, Mr. Ron.
How y'all doing?
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing my best.
All right. Would you state your name, please, for the court?
Agmo Sakim Ray Elbey, but you can call me Sakim.
All right. Is it okay if I call you Mr. Sakim?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Mr. Sakim, what is your relationship with Ms. Johnson?
I want to clarify for the courts that that's the mother of my child, and I'm the father of her child, not no baby daddy and baby mama. We don't do that around here. I'm grown.
Okay.
That's the mother of my child. Yeah.
We're good. Mm-hmm. We're good. What we want to know, though, what happened the night that she spent the night at your house? There's been testimony that at some point she was in a bathtub with not only her son, but with you.
Yeah.
While she's in a relationship with Mr. Banks.
Pretty much, man, I'm cultural. I believe, village baths. We took baths in villages in the ancient time, you understand? I ain't on this modern day type buffoonery and all that. I'm with ancient culture, you understand? So we're in the tub together as a bonding thing, and my son not only can see her and I together because I didn't grow up with my mother and father, she didn't grow up with her mother and father together, you understand?
So Mr.
He can have a different outlook on life, you feel me?
So Mr. Sakim, let me just cut to the chase.
And to conserve some water too.
All right, so you're being environmental, you're being cultural.
Yeah.
The bottom line is, you're saying that there was no sexual activity that took place.
Nah.
She stayed with you overnight.
Yeah.
You did not have sex with her that night.
Nah, she went upstairs in the guest room.
All right. And then
sexual contact? Any sexual contact?
Nah.
No hugging, no kissing, no fondling, no nothing.
My son was in the tub. I ain't stupid.
Okay.
And I ain't subjecting my son to that type of thing, man. Come on with that.
Okay. But we have to ask the question.
I mean, I understand, but that's kind of,
All right.
My son was there. My son was right there in the middle, man.
I understand, but here's the thing. We are here because of an issue of infidelity. Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. So we have to ask the questions, even though they may seem offensive.
I mean, my apology about my talk.
Okay.
I did kind of take a look, because I'm like, yo, my son right there, Cuff.
Okay, no.
But let's keep it real, though. Let's keep it real. What's your relationship with her? I mean,
Yo, that's my friend.
Do you want her back?
If she can change some things and I can change some things about myself, I mean, you know, I would give it a try, but I'm not saying so readily right now, like, yeah, I want her back like that.
So the bottom line is you want to leave this court with the fact that that night that she was at your house, nothing sexual happened.
Nah.
All right.
Okay.
No, I wasn't even in that space at the time. I don't even think she was either.
Is there any reason besides the fact that all of these things have gone on that you're suspicious about the baby's parentage? Is there any other reason that you might be wondering whether or not you're the father?
Yes, Your Honor, because there has been times she has told me, I don't know if she said it out of anger or if she meant it, but I went to pick up the baby one time and she said, I don't know why you're picking up a baby that don't belong to you. And there's a time she was laying on the bed with the baby and she was talking to the baby saying, you want to go over your dad's house? And obviously she wasn't talking about me because lately I've been living there with her. And there was also another time that she told me it was his baby.
Mr. Sakim's baby?
Yes, ma'am.
She told you that it was his baby?
Yes, ma'am. She's told me this 3 times, and my baby is only 2 weeks.
All right.
Ms. Johnson, that's right for the jugular. Why would you say that if it weren't true?
Well, what steamed me to say it is because of the simple fact of he was comparing my daughter to my son, saying that she looks just like my son that me and Sakim share. And so I said, well, if you feel that way, then you're not the father then. If you're going to keep saying that she looks like him and saying that he's the father, then why are you trying to bond with a baby that's not yours?
That tit for tat thing.
Y'all some rough people. I mean, you don't look outside your own window. That's why y'all here, I guess.
Before we get to the question about whether you're cheating on him, he has some concerns about the paternity of the child because you raised those issues. And so we have performed a DNA test and we have those results right now.
So, to determine who is the biological father of 2-week-old Nevaeh Banks, Mr. Banks and Mr. Sakim submitted to paternity testing. DNA Diagnostics has prepared the results. And the results are as follows. Nevaeh's biological father is Mr. Banks.
Thank you.
So the fact that we know that the baby belongs to you doesn't resolve all the issues. There still is the issue of infidelity.
So to answer that question of whether Ms. Johnson has been cheating, this court has done a full and complete investigation. At this time, the court will call certified polygraph examiner Kendall Shull to determine, is she cheating? Please show Mr. Shull up. Mr. Shull, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, Your Honor. How are you?
Doing fine. It's good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
You conducted a polygraph examination of Ms. Johnson, is that correct?
I did, Your Honor.
You asked Ms. Johnson, since being in a relationship with Mr. Banks, have you had physical sexual contact with anyone other than Mr. Banks? What was Ms. Johnson's response?
She said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being truthful, Your Honor.
All right, the last question. You also asked Ms. Johnson, since being in a relationship with Mr. Banks, have you had sexual intercourse with your child's father,
No.
Mr. Sakim?
Nope.
What was her response?
She said no, Your Honor.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being truthful, Your Honor.
All day long. All day long. She a fool. She a clown. And she is out of his league.
Hold on, Mr. Sakim.
However,
Oh.
What?
she did reveal that she and Mr. Sakim did wash each other's backs in the tub.
Oh, okay.
She says that there was no sexual contact and she does feel like it was wrong for them to have done this.
Well, Ms. Johnson, we have the truth that you have been faithful. Mm-hmm. What do you want to do?
I don't know. I'm still confused between the two. Part of me wants a family because we just had a baby, and just to prove to him that I'm not doing anything in hopes that we can decide where we go from there.
And Mr. Banks, is this the woman you want to be with?
With all due honesty and respect, I do love Alyssa. I do want to work it out with her, but I don't want to force myself upon someone that don't really want to be with me and give me their all.
You all have been together for 17 years. You're married, but you're currently separated. And whether this separation ends in a reunification or a divorce all depends on what happens here today. Am I right, Ms. Allen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Now, you've opened up this case. The stakes are high. Please explain.
Me and Mr. Anderson, we have been together for 17 years. We've been separated, living out of the household together for the last year.
Wow.
Exactly. Me and Mr. Anderson, relationship has been up and down, peaks and valleys for a minute now. It all determines what happens. We have dated since we've been separated. We have discussed getting back together since we've been separated. But for me, I cannot get back together with Mr. Anderson unless I find out if he cheated or not. If not, these divorce papers will be signed before we leave here today if he did cheat.
Locked and loaded.
Locked and loaded.
Yeah.
Ready.
So everything, your marriage in total, is at stake here today.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah. She says you all have been through peaks and valleys in your relationship. This has got to be the valliest of the valley.
Yes, it is.
At this
Valliest
point.
of the valley.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Cutler.
Yeah, the valliest of the valley. I mean, it doesn't get more crucial than this.
That's true.
She said it depends on what happens here today, whether we find out if you all are going to be together or whether you are going to be separate, because she's accusing you of cheating. How does that make you feel?
Well, it bothers me because it's always been an accusation. It's always somebody or something, and I spend so much time trying to prove I love her. I've always loved her. She's been a very special person to me for a very long time. The accusations do get overwhelming, so I guess today will settle whether we're going to continue or not, because I know I haven't done anything wrong. So when this comes out, I think I'll take the joy in her apology and working forward to being together again.
Wow.
You know, it's funny because I'll give you an example. She came into, I work at a nursing home. I've always worked in nursing homes. And she actually pulled up to the job one day, runs inside the nursing home, grabs a book with all the employees' names and numbers, and apparently she called them. You know, which I thought was a very bold move. I guess that was her way of trying to figure out if I was cheating with someone inside the nursing home I was working in at the time.
You was.
And she called your coworkers.
Yes, she did, embarrassing me.
Okay.
Did she think you were sleeping with the residents?
No,
Wow.
the female employees of the nursing home.
Okay, all right, that's a relief.
But did you do that?
Okay. Yes, I did.
Okay, that was a yes, you did. Okay.
Yes, I did. It wasn't a book of the residents. It was a book of the employees who worked there.
Okay, so you called his coworkers, and one coworker said, yes, we
I
are
used to
sleeping
work
together.
here, and I knew a specific young lady. I called her, and she gave up the name of the young lady he was seeing at the nursing home.
Third party.
I went to the nursing home to get the book to get her information because Mr. Anderson was actually at her house when I was digging through the book.
Third party. No, third party.
So did you ever call this woman?
Yes, I did speak to her.
And what did she say?
That was her boyfriend.
Did she know that he was in a relationship with you?
I didn't know he was in a relationship. He was so smart. He was so intelligent. I was so impressed by him.
That's not true.
I thought that I was dating him. I didn't know anything about him. He tells me that's his friend, but why does a friend lie on you?
No.
What led to your separation? How did you get to that point?
Mr. Anderson is a serial cheater.
Okay.
He does not get caught, so he believes that he cannot be convicted without physical evidence.
Wow.
I am tired of him getting caught in these situations with all these different females that he tells me are friends. Every last one of his friends had a different spinoff of his version of the story. That led to me, it took a long time to get strong enough to walk away from that because I don't want to be in a relationship where I'm the third party.
Right?
I don't want to do that, and I got tired.
What was the last straw? What broke this camel's back that said, okay, I'm out, we're separating?
He ended up in the hospital, and I brought some exhibits for the court to prove.
Okay. Why don't you step to the monitor then?
Okay. Mr. Anderson got sick November, day before Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving's Eve. He had to be rushed to the emergency room, and we went to the hospital.
Okay.
He had to have emergency surgery. He had an ulcer perforated in his stomach.
Oh.
As I'm sitting there, I go through his phone, and the first thing I seen was a "Hey Big Head" text. Where I'm from, "Hey Big Head" is side chick lingo.
What else made you say, okay, I gotta go?
Okay, we were supposed to go to a club together. Mr. Anderson decided at the last minute he wasn't gonna go. I went to the party alone. When I came home from the club, Mr. Anderson had locked me out the house. I left and stayed with a family member. When I came home that evening, when he woke up that morning, the first thing he said to me, "I don't want this. I don't want you anymore. I don't want this marriage anymore, and I am leaving you."
Don't want you to tell the whole truth.
What happened after that was he decided that he was going to leave and go to New York to stay with a family member.
Okay.
He would no longer wanted the relationship, and this was prior 5 days up to him leaving to go to New York. I looked him in his face and I told him, if you don't want me, this is the last time you're gonna actually tell me in my face you don't want me. I meant that. So what I decided to do was let him go. You wanna leave? Leave. A day before he decides to leave, oh, well, I'm going to leave to go to New York, but I'm coming back. I'm going to stay with a family member.
And then returns to the house with a backache. What's the significance of that?
Okay, the significance is Mr. Anderson has had about 2 operations on his back. He has rods and screws in his back, and he cannot take travel in a car, a bus, a train, even a plane, longer than an hour, hour and a half. Mr. Anderson claims he was in New York. We're in Connecticut. That's less than an hour ride. He claims that's where he was, but once he came home, his body was exhibiting behavior of a much longer trip. We had back spasms, we had legs shaking, you couldn't sleep at night. I had to get up and make you heating pads for his body to sleep. Your girlfriend should have did that. She the one you went to see.
So you think the fact that he came home with a backache means that he was, a longer distance than New York?
I believe that he traveled from Connecticut to Georgia.
Why Georgia?
Because the young lady lives in Georgia. Once I contacted her, she lives in Georgia.
Which young lady?
The young lady that he left to go see, Hey Big Head.
Mr. Anderson, you left for 30 days. Were you in Georgia?
No, I was in New York. And the reason my back was hurting is because when I was in New York, I was doing street activities and I was up constantly.
So the fact that you didn't contact her during this time was just to teach her a lesson?
Yeah, I just want you to know how it feels.
It wasn't because you were with some other woman?
No, it had nothing to do with that. And I told her that after I came back. I said, I wanted you to know how I feel, but it backfired because she obviously don't feel for me the way I feel for her. Because when she stays out and don't call and I can't reach her, when my wife is gone and she's out like that, I worry. Yes, I do.
Well, Miss Allen, I noticed that you have another point there, contacted other woman. Tell me about that.
I contacted her initially myself. As soon as I asked her questions, she blocked and deleted me.
Okay.
But I did get her to respond once I started texting her from Mr. Anderson's phone.
You catfished?
Yes, I did.
All right, and you submitted those messages to the court, is that correct?
I did.
You wrote, you're acting like you didn't like it.
It could have been better.
Our protection?
What protection? It's her belief that her response is, we didn't use protection while having sex, correct?
Absolutely.
Ah, okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank
Would you step back to the podium, please? Mr. Anderson, who is this woman who responded, it could have been better, when the text was sent posing as you're acting like you didn't like it? Because the natural response would have been, what are you talking about?
That's what I originally said. When all this was brought to me, I was flabbergasted because I really didn't know what was going on. I know the person. Yes, I do know the person. I haven't seen this person in over 35-something years. We were kids. We still ain't seen each other.
Her children were asking about my husband.
How is that possible if you never seen me?
Hey,
What? Well, here's the thing. Clearly, we're not gonna get a response.
No, we're not.
Up or down about this woman. Are there any other women that you're concerned about?
Let the church state. Okay, 17 years, 17 different women, but we're only gonna go to this one. I had family members, neighbor tell me he was sleeping with the other neighbor.
How do they know this?
He was creeping around on his peeping Tom that day, I suppose, this friend of the family. And the friend of the family said he heard noises from the window and he was on his peeping Tom and he was peeping in the window and he told me he seen my husband sleeping with the neighbor.
Saw it with his own eyes?
Saw it with his own eyes.
And called you and told you this?
He waited for me to come around and tell me.
Okay, so he says he heard
noises.
Heard noises.
So I guess he was doing a good job that time.
So this friend heard noises.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And he goes up and looks.
He looks through the window and he tells me my husband was blowing her back out. Those were his words exactly.
That he saw with his own eyes.
That's what he said.
Okay, Mr. Anderson?
Yes, Your Honor.
Were you giving it to the neighbor real good?
No. Notice she said this person was the peeping Tom, which sound kind of creepy, don't you?
Well,
It does.
I was gonna say,
Exactly.
It does.
All right, now, first of all, I know this man. Have you seen my wife? Beautiful woman. This man see what I see, but can't have what I got. So, of course, a person like that, that's always trying to get with my queen, gonna say what he wanna say. I'm a smart man. Why would I go in a neighbor house and make it so that any and everybody can see it? I'm not that stupid. But again, he was after this.
I gotta say, Mr. Cutler, it is creepy that a man says, a friend says, hey, I heard sexual noises. I went to see what was happening.
Thank you.
But can I say this? It wasn't one story. It was a combination, a compilation of him acting crazy and the guy telling me that.
And so all of these things, the list that you showed us and submitted as an exhibit, you said, I'm out. We're separating.
Absolutely.
Okay, during this separation, we have folks coming, we taking a break, and so during the break, people do whatever they want to do.
We still married. Ain't no such thing as no break.
No.
And is that your understanding?
Yeah, we don't do that.
Okay.
We don't do that. Nah, we don't do that.
Your testimony to this court is you have not messed around during your separation.
No, not at all.
And you're also telling this court that you have not messed around during your entire 17-year marriage.
Exactly.
Correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And Miss Allen, you're shaking your head no.
No, because...
As he's answering the question, you're shaking your head no.
That's a lie. You shouldn't lie in court.
So,
Judge Cutler?
So, Mr. Cutler, what we have is a marriage on the line. They have been separated for over a year. This separation came about because of years of distrust, it sounds like, on the part of Miss Allen. It all rides on this today. Will she file those divorce papers when we first started?
We're gonna find out.
Or are they going home together?
We have these unanswered questions. And to address these unanswered questions, this court has done a full and a complete investigation. At this time, the court will call a certified polygraph examiner, Dave Lawrence, to determine, is he cheating? Mr. Lawrence. Good day, Mr. Lawrence. How are you?
Just fine, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Would you state your credentials, please, for the court?
Yes, sir. I'm a retired 30-year law enforcement veteran. I've been a polygraph examiner for the past 26 years. I've conducted thousands of various types of polygraph exams.
And you conducted a polygraph examination on Mr. Anderson, is that correct?
That's correct, sir.
You asked Mr. Anderson, since beginning your relationship with Ms. Allen, have you had sexual intercourse with a woman you were communicating with in Georgia? What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine? What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive.
Woo! Breathe.
You asked Mr. Anderson, have you had sexual intercourse with the woman who is the neighbor of Miss Allen's relative? What was his response?
He said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that he was being deceptive.
Wow, for real?
My bad.
You're bad? You're bad? Is you serious?
Deceptive ain't the same thing to me as being
Deceptive
guilty.
mean lie. Come to find out you was everybody?
Everybody.
Everybody? You ain't even got that much money and to spread around.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't even have words. You knocked it out the park. You got a perfect score.
I guess so.
The
apparently.
wrong score, but the perfect score in that.
Apparently. I'm sorry that anything that I've done hurt her, because it was never my intentions to hurt her.
It's probably
I guess-
never your intention to get caught.
No,
That's
no,
probably what
no,
it was.
not the case.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
What if I did you like that? What if I screwed around and came
The
home to
truth
you?
of the matter is I don't
That's
know
not
what you do
fair.
because you never come home.
I wonder why.
Well, then-
what I'm coming home to.
You right.
All right.
Ms. Allen, you came here to get some answers.
Yep.
Got 'em.
And you got answers.
Thank you.
This is a 17-year relationship on the line. What are you going to do?
I'm done. I'm beautiful. I can date. I have plenty of options. I'm going to take those options.
You can't realistically go forward with someone who refuses to hold himself accountable.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
You all have been together for 5 years. Mr. Pryor, why have you brought your girlfriend to couples court today?
Well, Your Honor, I truly believe this woman, Ivory, has clearly cheated on me with the breasts I paid for. Like, I'll do anything for this woman, like anything. She knows it. But
Is that a gut feeling that you have that she's cheating?
yes, Your Honor, it's definitely a gut feeling.
Okay, tell me about that. What is that?
Well, we haven't had sex in 3 months. She never wants to go out. We never go out on dinners. I understand that everyone has, friends. She wants to be with her girlfriends, but I truly believe, we should have some quality time.
You're saying that you all have not been intimate at all in 3 months?
At all, Your Honor.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have.
Because 3 months is a long time.
Well, I have a good memory on that kind of stuff, so.
Who's counting? But it has not been 3 months.
Well, I'm
No.
definitely
Okay.
counting, and I'm too.
No,
Okay, well, Ms. Edwards, how long has it been?
maybe 2.
Okay.
That's
Even
still
2
a-
months is a long time.
I don't think 2 months is bad. Honestly, I don't.
On
Well,
behalf
well-
of married people, yes, that's bad.
Okay.
I mean, because that is one of the pieces that keeps your relationship going.
Your Honor, he actually wants to do it all the time. I mean, wants to pound on me all of the time. And I'm like, okay, I'm fresh out the shower, babe, let's do it. I'm like, come on.
It's fresh.
Well, okay, now here's the thing. You use such graphic verbiage when you said pounding on you.
Oh.
I hope that if it ain't enjoyable, that may be why she's not. You want a fine artist, not a jackhammer. Let's put it that way.
I agree. He don't know how to make love. Nope.
Okay.
I mean, he's in the army. That's
Don't do
all
me like that.
You rough. He tough. It used to be fun.
Okay.
Okay, but he's worried that you're out making love to somebody else.
Yeah.
I can understand that, but I'm not.
So what are you here to prove?
My innocence, that I am not cheating on Sean. He's very, very insecure, very, very jealous.
But, Your Honor, I have everything on the line. In 2 months, I'll be going to Afghanistan to serve my country. I just want a strong foundation of trust before I leave because I don't need to worry about that kind of stuff when I'm overseas.
Okay, Mr. Pryor, first of all, thank you in advance for your service.
Thank you.
Take me back to when things were wonderful.
Sean is very caring. He's always showered me with gifts. We always went on dates. So, I mean...
Her birthday was just recent, and I surprised her. And normally we go out to restaurants, the whole shebang, but I actually brought the restaurants to her. So as you can see, I sit here and got balloons, even got a cake. She wanted that shoe.
Wow.
Very expensive shoe at that. And I also went out
went out the way and made her a special menu, as you can see.
But it was for my
Made by
birthday. He doesn't do this all the time. And don't get me wrong, I don't expect
We're
for him to
talking
do it all
about
the time.
shrimp, steak, pasta, red velvet cake.
Look
There
at
you go.
you.
My big self right there, cooking. So,
But these are the things he used to do. He doesn't do it anymore.
Do you know how many women would kill for something like that?
I do. And it's not that I appreciate the gesture.
Look, shrimp, pasta, steak, red velvet
corn.
cake.
I'm doing everything right. So I'm trying to figure out what's wrong. Like,
Okay, why do you think she's cheating?
she told me that she had a business gathering downtown. So I called and texted. She said, "Oh, Sean, I'm gonna be late." I said, "Okay, cool. You know what? That's fine." So when it gets to 2, 3, I'm like, "Okay, where is she?"
2 or 3 in the morning?
2, 3 in the morning. So
Okay.
finally, I just went to sleep. I said, "You know what? I'm gonna just calm down. Hopefully she's safe." Talked to her the next day. "Oh, I slept over a friend's house or whatnot." So 3 days afterwards, I'm cleaning up or whatnot, and I'm vacuuming, and I'm picking up the couch, and I see a 5-star hotel key under the couch. She don't got no bread like that to be spending on 5-star.
So what happened when you find this key?
I questioned her. I asked her, "What's going on? Like, if you don't want to be with me, just let me know so I can stay out of it. Just get out your way."
So did you stay at a friend's house?
Oh, okay.
No, I did not.
That's where
Did
you
you
stayed?
tell him you stayed at a friend's house?
Initially, I did.
And then after he
did.
confronted you, you told him, "No, I stayed at this 5-star hotel."
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, do you see why this looks bad?
I do. Yes. I just really wanted my me time. I really did. In that moment, I did.
Okay.
Would you want somebody to do that to
This
you?
man he's cooking, he's cleaning. What more do you want?
Don't forget, rub her feet, Your Honor.
He rubs your feet?
He does.
Girl.
On the regular.
On the regular?
Yes.
I want Mr. Cutler to take some notes. Cooking, cleaning, and a big asterisk by rubbing her feet.
Okay, all right.
I want you to note that.
Rub.
Ing.
Feet.
Not just feet. It's gotta be my feet.
Got it.
All right.
All right.
You doing that right.
Thank you. And one big thing that really crushed me was on Mother's Day, she told me she was gonna do something with her mother. So I wanted to check up on her, see how everything was going. But I called her mom. I said, "Is Ivory with you?" She's like, "Oh, no, I was just gonna call you and say I haven't heard from her at all."
No.
Really?
My mother did not know that I had something very special planned for her.
All
so
right.
as you can tell, it's easy for Sean to call my mom. Like, he does a lot. Don't
She
get me
calls me
wrong.
more than you do, so,
But this is about you disappearing on Mother's Day after you've told him you're gonna be with your mother.
I did tell him that, but I was putting together a surprise, and I feel that Sean would spill the beans and tell her.
I understand, but you understand why your credibility is kind of shady. I understand you not wanting to tell him because he might tell her, but you're telling lies, and that's different.
Has she ever disappeared on you on any other occasions?
Yes. One day I stayed over, and we woke up the next day and she was getting ready for work. So I got my lazy tail up and I said, "You know what? I'm gonna cook breakfast for her." So I cooked breakfast for her. So I cooked breakfast for her, all that stuff. Kissed her goodbye. Have a good day at work. She said, "Oh yeah, have a good day at work, Sean." I said, "All right, cool. You know what? Good." So went to work. I said, lunch break. I'm gonna surprise her, and probably get a 2-piece and a biscuit, something like that. Something real cute. Went to the job. The coworker tells me, "Oh, she hasn't been to work today."
That's true. That's true. Sean is very aware.
She's killing me.
No.
She's killing me.
Come on, help me.
I know it doesn't look good. However, I'm required to manage at least 4 or 5 properties. So he went to my main property and I was not there.
But why would your coworker say you weren't at work?
I don't know why she would say that, but I actually was at another property.
You are giving him a lot of reason to believe you. And again, 2 months without sex. The brother.
3
months. Okay.
2 months.
2 months too long. That's all.
That's exactly what it is.
Whatever it is, too long. Okay, she had breast augmentation surgery.
Yes, so she came to me and said, hey, Sean, I need this done. I said, no, you don't, you're perfect. Like, why would you need this? But you know what? She really wanted it, so I'll do it.
Okay, and if you find out she's cheating, you want that money from her?
I want that $3,500, and I'm gone, Your Honor.
I don't feel as though I should pay him back because I haven't been cheating.
Okay.
So in the 5 years you've been together, you have never cheated?
No.
All right, we've got a 5-year relationship that's hanging in the balance, and there's some issues here. So to get to the bottom of this, the court has engaged the services of a private investigator, Mr. Todd Redding.
Wow.
Ron, would you please escort Mr. Redding into the courtroom?
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Mr. Redding, tell us what you did to investigate in this case.
My team and I performed covert surveillance on the subject. We followed her around and documented every location and every move.
What did you observe?
I tracked the defendant for several days. We saw her at her job one evening at 6:30 p.m. with someone else. But that person was a female coworker. We saw her on another day leave work during a rainstorm, but she went to the supermarket and then went back home.
So that's y'all meeting spot, huh? The grocery store?
Did you observe anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. On Friday evening at 10:17 p.m., I spotted the defendant outside of her apartment by her vehicle having an animate conversation with another gentleman. That wasn't the plaintiff. This continued on at 10:25. I noticed the male subject touched Miss Edwards' hand, and this interaction continued until about 10:25 p.m. The defendant received a phone call, and then minutes later, the plaintiff arrived onto the property.
You like short men, huh? I'm really speechless, Your Honor. Like, you...
It's not what you think. That's a neighbor. He was a neighbor.
Did you see...
At 10 o'clock at night?
Nothing like that.
Well, Your Honor, I don't want to, jump into anything like that, but I think 10 o'clock, 10:30 at night is a bit much, especially before I got there.
All right. Well, to further investigate this matter, the court ordered Ms. Edwards to undergo a polygraph examination, and we have those results. The court would like to call licensed private investigator and polygraph examiner Kendall Shaw to the stand. Ron, please escort him into the courtroom. Mr. Shaw. How are you doing today?
Great, Your Honor. Thank
you performed a polygraph examination on Ms. Edwards, is that correct?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. And she was asked a series of questions.
Yes, sir.
The first question, on Mother's Day, did you have sexual contact with another man? What was Miss Edwards' response?
She said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was truthful.
Thank you.
That makes me smile.
Second question. Was the hotel key found by Mr. Pryor from a sexual encounter with another man? What was Miss Edwards' response?
She said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being truthful.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to hear.
All right. You also asked Ms. Edwards, since January 5th, 2013, the start of your relationship with Mr. Pryor, have you had sexual contact with any other man? What was her response to that question?
She said no.
What did the lie detector determine?
The lie detector determined that she was being deceptive.
Come on, Ivory. Really? That's how you gonna do me?
Miss Edwards, what happened?
I actually was with another individual. It was early on in the relationship. I wasn't necessarily sure about my relationship with Sean.
Did you have intercourse with this individual?
Yes, Your Honor, I did. Sean, I apologize. Genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, I promise. I don't know if we could get through it, but I really, really want you to forgive me for it.
5 years wasted. That's how I feel right now.
I don't
wasted.
feel that way. I don't feel that way.
I don't know what to say. Like, I put all my faith, all my chips in with this woman. It's like a good punch in the gut.
You know, a relationship is like a house. If you bought a house and a light bulb blew, you wouldn't throw away the whole house. You'd fix that light bulb and keep on living in it. And so, if you love her, I wouldn't throw away the whole house. Now, I gotta tell you this, you'd have to step up in an amazing way. If you want him, he needs to know you want him. And let me be clear, intimacy is not just sex. I mean, it's snuggling. It's, you know, a smoothie date. It's those little things that are the intimate parts of a relationship or a marriage. One of the things I adore that Mr. Cutler does is I love a certain little candy. And every now and then I'll come in, because we work together, I'll come in and he has one sitting on my desk. Now he spent 79 cents. It ain't like he's breaking the bank. But I know that at one moment of that day, he was like, oh, I'm gonna hook her up. And those are the things that build the trust and the love and the intimacy that we all want in our relationships.
Mr. Pryor, you also have a lawsuit. Because this cheating was in the past, do you still want to be reimbursed?
To be honest with you, Your Honor, I'll go ahead and take that loss on that. I'm gonna go ahead and work on my relationship. Hopefully, everything she has said today, she really, truly means it.
All right, so with that, your claim is dismissed.